All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity Spiritual Center. I invite you to stand up now. We're going to do a gathering song. And one of our themes today is tribal, indigenousness, and tribalness. And so we're going to do a Lakota song. Lakota. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. That's it again. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, and all around me. Brian, play a little guitar. A little more good up, Brian. Going to sing it again. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. One more time. Oh, great Spirit, earth, sun, sky, and sea, you are inside and all around me. You are inside and all around me. All right, thank you.
Good morning, Unity. And just before we get started, I am testing a new microphone, so we may be adjusting things throughout the service. So go ahead and if you see me waving or something, that's what's going on. So we are so glad to see you all today here in person and everybody online. Good morning, Maria and Christine. Good to have you all, Chris. Good to have you all here with us today and everybody else who's online. Is there anybody here? I know there is, for the very first time today. I know Molly's here. Yes, good to meet you. Anybody else? Can't tell. Oh, hi, there you are. Good morning. Well, we want to say welcome home, and whatever brought you here today, we pray that you will find it with us. Whether you came seeking community, education, healing, or just came because you wonder, what is this weird thing called unity? We are glad you are here, and we say welcome home. And please make sure I get a chance to talk with you after the service and say hi and get to know you. And today is also Potluck Sunday. Our theme is Day of the Dead, since that is this time of year. We have lots, I peeked, we have lots of really, really, really good food. So whether you brought anything or not, we got plenty. Join us after the service. And now I'd like to have you pull out your phones and check in with your social media with the affirmation Healing Tribal DNA. This series that we are embarking on for November is all about healing the DNA. I'll be telling you more about that later today. And also would like to explain to you that we're going to have a slightly different order of service for today, maybe for this series. We'll see how it works. And so we won't be doing the meditation and then music and then the lesson. We'll be doing lesson, meditation, and then music before and after. Okay? So it'll be a little bit different, but I know we can do it. All right, once you have checked in with your social media, Healing Tribal DNA, please put your phone on Do Not Disturb. You can leave it out because if you use the app, the notes for the lesson are in the app, and you can add your own notes to it. All right, we do have some announcements of things that are happening here. First of all, I would like to give a big thank you to our YFM department and everybody who helped make our trunk or treat on Friday night such a huge success. How many of you were here? Oh my gosh, it was a lot of fun. And there will be pictures on Facebook, hopefully in the next 48 hours. All right, so what's going on here at Unity? There's a lot going on, way more than I can talk about in a few minutes up here. Please check our website, our Facebook page, any of our social media, read our e-letter, which comes out on Thursdays. If you don't get it, please fill out that card in your welcome packet or see me or Glenda or one of us, and we will get you on the list. But just to give you a rundown of what's happening this week, tomorrow, Monday morning, we have Tai Chi and Qigong, Diabetes Wellness Support Group in the afternoon. Wednesdays, we have Tai Chi and Qigong and meditation class. Thursday, our grief group gathers, our 16-step group, the Gay and Bisexual Men's Support Group, and the Healing Prayer Circle. And I want to say something to you all. If you know of support groups that need a place to meet, please let us know. We'd like to have even more of that kind of stuff. Friday, we have gentle yoga. And Saturday is the Unity Explorers Hike. Now, some featured announcements. November 22nd, I believe it is. Yes, Saturday, November 22nd. We have our new member class. If you're interested in becoming a member of Unity Spiritual Center, or if you just want to come to the class and get a refresher and meet some new people, please make sure you RSVP because we do serve lunch. And you can RSVP on the app, on the website, through the e-letter, or call the office. Also, believe it or not, Christmas is coming. It's not that far away already. So we are starting the toy drive today. As you know, we collect toys for, David, are you here? Storehouse, thank you. For the storehouse, and we give them away before Christmas. We're going to be doing the greening of the church on November 23rd, and on some Wednesday before service. Can we have the slide? Do we have the slide? We don't have the slide with the date. Aha! We will be doing the Christmas sing-along. Todd, do you know the date?
That is December 17th. It's 1 week before Christmas Eve.
Okay, so we gather together, we sing some songs, we have some hot chocolate and cookies, we have a good time. Please plan on joining us. Yeah, cookies. All right, and with that, I would like to invite up our trustee of the day, Darcy.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here with you today and to share space. I appreciate and feel honored. Just a quick note that we do have a new policy for our love offering, so please check that out on our bulletin. And with that, let's start with our mission. So we inspire spiritual growth through honoring many paths, education, prayer, sacred service, and abundant living. And our vision, centered in love, we see a harmonious world of divine expression. Our core values, we are Christ-centered, loving, inclusive, joyous, uplifting, open-minded, and fun. And our credo, we believe all people are created with sacred worth. We serve all people in emotional and spiritual ways. We welcome the diversity of all. God and unity leaves no one out. And some ways to give. We can give in person here, the church app. I use that quite often, and also online text, and we've got a QR code too. And offering our blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, Lord.
All right, here's a rocker kind of inspired by Native American stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're gonna build a medicine wheel. We're gonna find the things that are real. Out of the darkness, beyond the void. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We're gonna build a medicine wheel. We're gonna find the things that are real. Out of the darkness, beyond the void. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. We are one in the infinite sun. Fly like an eagle. All right. Thank you.
Awesome, soul shine. Awesome, fun. Okay, our prosperity dedication. In a universe flowing with the allness of God, all the needs and desires of Unity Spiritual Center, all those we serve, are bountifully met from every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected. Our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God.
Thank you. All right, it's time for a congregational song, so I invite you to stand up. We're going to do something by Karen Drucker. It's adapted from a Navajo poem, and you start it out. In beauty may I walk all day long, may I walk through the seasons, may I walk in peace, may I walk in peace on this path. May I walk through my life, may I walk in old age, may I walk in peace, may I walk in peace, may I walk, may I walk, may I walk. May I walk, may I walk kindness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk. May I walk in peace. May I walk. May I walk. May I walk in peace. All right. Have a seat. Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Roland. I'm one of your prayer chaplains today, along with Martine. We'll be on either side of the sanctuary to the end of the service. Just look for our white prayer stalls. Prayer request slips can be found in the seat pocket in front of you and deposited in the box in the lobby.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room.
The word of the day. Remember. I remember loved ones alive in me. Today, I remember life as eternal as I honor my dear ones who have passed. I send love and light to those who have enriched my life. My heart beams with love and gratitude as I cherish the memories I hold so dearly. I honor and reflect on the relationships that have meant so much to me. I open my heart, allowing myself to feel the tenderness of my emotions. I sense my relatives' love, a reminder that their presence is alive in my heart. In stillness, I visit my memories with gratitude for the time we shared. My beloved's examples of love, wisdom, and strength are alive in me. As I remember these special ones, my memory of them is a blessing that transcends time and space. I remember loved ones alive in me.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For Spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. All right, Bill Brooks is here. This song is called Tell Your Heart to Beat Again.
You're shattered like you've never been before. The life you knew in 1,000 pieces on the floor. And words fall short in times like these, when this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna get back to the you that used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of day. Yesterday is a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Beginning, just let that word wash over you. It's all right now. Love's healing hands have pulled you through. So get back up, take step one. Leave the darkness, feel the sun. 'Cause your story's far from over and your journey's just begun. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step to the light of day. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Let every heart break and every scar be a picture that reminds you love has carried you this far. 'Cause love sees farther than you ever could. In this moment, Spirit's working. Everything is for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of day. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Your heart to beat again. Beat again. Oh, tell your heart to beat again.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill, and thank you, Soulshine Band. Like Omri says, yes, they are good. Well, I'm glad you're here with me today as we embark on this journey of healing the DNA. This series was inspired some months ago when, once again, we were dealing with some national catastrophe. If I remember right, it was one of the mass shootings. And I said, why are we still dealing with this? What is going on in our world? What is going on in our species that has prevented us from rising to that next level of peace, of collaboration, of oneness? And one of the things, as I meditated on it, I began to realize is we have healing work to do. We haven't healed the past completely yet. And so that's what brought this series about. As I have worked on this for the last couple months, actually, I began to notice that there is an energy moving. The time is right. There are people who are asking the same questions, who are awakening to the same realizations that we cannot move forward until we do some healing work. That's part of the work. And there's more and more people that I have seen and believe that are rising to the challenge and are saying, yes, let's heal this. Let's change the consciousness of people themselves. And I don't mean individual people so that we all look exactly the same. We don't want that. What I'm talking about is change the underlying DNA that we have and come into a place of wholeness. So that brought about this series, and today we are beginning this series called Healing the DNA of Humanity, A Journey to Wholeness. Now that's a big title, Healing the DNA of Humanity. So let's unpack it a little bit and look at what we're going to be doing in the next couple weeks. Because this series is really about transformation, spiritual evolution. And healing is not only goes on within us, but we are going to be working on changing the energetic pattern of humanity itself. Because every time one person does it, it lifts up everybody. It's contagious, if you will. You could say we're literally rewriting the code of consciousness. So throughout the next 4 weeks, we're going to be looking at 4 different kinds of what I call spiritual DNA. The first is what we're doing today, tribal DNA. Now, this doesn't have to do with like tribes, Indian tribes and things like that. This is the inherited patterns and stories of our ancestors and cultures. We all have that within us, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. And I'm going to bring in some science to it as well that shows that, yes, it's a real thing. Next week, we're going to talk about healing the personal DNA. Those are the beliefs and emotional imprints that we have encoded through our own life experiences. That will be followed by healing the national DNA, the collective consciousness of our nation, the myths, the fears, the ideals that we share as a people. And finally, the soul DNA, the pure divine pattern within us that doesn't change, but that evolves. That spark of God that is the truth and the wholeness of what we are. So each week we're going to be bringing awareness, bringing healing, and bringing light to one of those layers, because until we heal at every layer, tribal, personal, national, and spiritual, we cannot heal the whole. So today we start with our roots, the tribal DNA. And the subtitle of today's lesson is Releasing the Old Stories. So what is tribal DNA? What do I mean when I say that? Well, in a biological sense, we know that DNA is the molecule within every living thing that carries the genetic code of life itself. In us, it determines our eye color, our height, our weight. Thank you, DNA. Hair texture, all of those things. But we also carry something deeper. And science is backing this up now. We carry an energetic DNA. That is the emotional and spiritual patterns that are handed down to us through the generations. It's the stories. It's the fears. It's the loyalties. And sometimes it's the limitations of our people. Modern science confirms that what the ancients have already known, have always known, that memory is carried through the generations. There's a branch of science called epigenetics, which literally means above the genes. And researchers at Emory University, for one, did a study where they trained mice to fear the smell of cherry blossoms by every time they put a puff of cherry blossom smell in there, they gave the mice an electrical shock. Now, I'm not going to comment on the cruelty to the mice, but what happened was they discovered that the next generation of mice Even though they had never had this experience, were afraid of the smell of cherry blossoms, as were the grandchildren of the original generation. It's like the fear in one generation had been written into their very DNA. We see the same things in humans. The descendants of Holocaust survivors, or people who have endured slavery or war, descendants of addicts, often have those higher levels of stress hormones. That's not in their head. It's encoded in the body. That's the scientific confirmation of something our indigenous elders taught us forever, that we carry the memory of our ancestors within us. In unity language, we would say that these ancestral patterns are part of the collective consciousness. It's the invisible atmosphere of thought and feeling that we have absorbed from our families, from our culture, from our religion, from our tribe. It's the voice that says things like, this is how our people do things. This is what we believe. This is who we trust or who we don't trust. Now, not all of it is bad. We inherit wonderful gifts as well. We inherit values like community, courage, generosity, reverence for the land. But mixed in with some of those gifts are outdated stories. Stories of fear, of separation, of limitation, that no longer serve who we are becoming. In fact, hold us back from becoming who we are meant to be. So as we go into this, the first question we have to ask then is, how did these stories form? Well, every culture has their stories. We tell stories to know who we are. My people are survivors. My family always works hard. We don't talk about our feelings. That's a big one in our culture. We don't trust outsiders. Sound familiar? Some stories are empowering. Others are belittling. They keep us small. But they tell us who to love, who to fear, and sometimes even who to hate. The Hebrew scriptures are full of this idea, of these stories. The Israelites, if you remember from Exodus, when they left Egypt, their journey through the wilderness was actually a journey in consciousness. Because that generation that left Egypt, whether it was a literal historical story or a metaphor, that generation had a slave mentality. And they had to wander through a wilderness for 40 years to let that slave mentality go, so that another generation could come up with a mentality, a consciousness of freedom. And then Jesus came along centuries later and said, you must be born again. Not born of flesh, but born of spirit. In other words, what he was saying is, let your old tribal story die so that your divine identity can be born. Buddhism says the same thing in the Dhammapada. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. And we can stop passing suffering from one generation to the next by awakening to compassion instead. In Hinduism, they give us the concept of samskara, which are mental grooves created by past actions. Not just in your past, but in your parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and all the way back. Those mental grooves remain until we consciously change them. And until we do that, we keep reliving the same patterns of life, lifetime after lifetime. That's what's called karma. Indigenous teachings remind us to think to the 7th generation, forward and backwards. Every choice we make today affects those who come after us, just like every choice our ancestors made affect us today. So healing is never just for us. In this case, it's for our ancestors and it's for our descendants. For each and every one of us is the bridge between what was and what will be. So how do we heal the tribal DNA? Well, let me share with you 4 steps. The first, awareness. See the story. See the story. Everything begins with awareness. You cannot heal what you are not aware of. Ask yourself this: what beliefs did my family or culture give to me about God, about money, about race, about gender? What emotions were allowed and which ones were suppressed? What were our people like and who were not our people? This is not about blaming anyone. It's about waking up to the invisible influences that shape our lives. Because whether we're consciously aware of it or not, those teachings, those ideas, those messages are influencing the way we live today. Charles Fillmore said this. He said, "Denial is not the refusal to see. It is the refusal to give power to false appearances." I'm going to rephrase that a little bit. It's the refusal to give power to past appearances. So we look at these stories not with judgment. Each idea served a purpose at some point in history. So we don't judge, we look at them with compassion. And when we bring it to light, it loses its power to control us. I hear voices. The second step is forgiveness, releasing the charge. Once we see a pattern, we must forgive it. That's why forgiveness is so important. Not because of somebody else. Forgiveness is a kind of a selfish act in a way, because it releases the energy that affects us. I like what Myrtle Fillmore said. We are not punished for our sins, but by our sins, until we learn to forgive and be free. So forgiveness doesn't mean we approve of past wrongs. It means we free ourselves from the emotional weight of them. Psychologists today tell us that forgiveness lowers our stress hormones, reduces inflammation, and increases well-being. And think about indigenous healing rituals. They always involved smoke or water. Symbols of cleansing. That's what baptism was originally about. It was not about you have to dunk somebody or they won't go to heaven. It was a symbolic outward expression saying, I wash away that which has held me back. I wash away my old beliefs. They're carried away by the river or carried up into heaven by the smoke, so that I can be born into something new and something greater and something purer. Our ancient ancestors knew that emotion, like energy, must be released. And so when we forgive, what are we doing? We're establishing a flow of energy, a flow of consciousness, a flow of peace. Let's try something with me for a second. Take a deep breath. Can you feel the energy? That's what forgiveness is. It's taking that deep breath and breathing out so that you can flow with the energy. Now here's the third step, and it's kind of a weird one. Bless the lineage. This is where the healing deepens. This is where we begin to do the real work. We've done the preparation. We've seen what needs to be healed. And whether we see the specifics or not, we can see the energy. We've forgiven. We've released its attachment to us. And now we bless the lineage. I want you to imagine that you are standing there with all of your ancestors behind you. Not as shadows, but as souls of light. Think about this. Indigenous people talk about 7 generations in each direction. 7 generations for you in your ancestry is 254 individuals. In Eastern culture, they talk about 10 generations. That's 2,046 individuals. To put that in perspective, that's about the population of a small town here in New Mexico. All of those individuals show up as your family tree. You stand on their shoulders. Imagine who they were. Imagine the mix. The wanderers, the sages, the farmers, the warriors, the healers, the rebels, the thieves, the murderers, the mystics. And probably one in there somewhere who said, no, really, this will be a good idea. Right before inventing the medieval equivalent of TikTok or something. Over 2,000 lives that carried love, resilience, faith, and DNA. That carried it forward so that you could stand here and heal the story for the next 7 or 10 generations. Yep, you're the miracle in the family line if you choose to be. And that's not just biological lines. Think about adding in cousins and aunts and uncles, spiritual lineage, chosen family, all of those saints, sages, and curious troublemakers that cheer you on from the ethers. A few of them you knew. Your parents, grandparents, maybe your great-grandparents, not much beyond that. And some of them, or most of them, you didn't. But they all had their pain, they all had their joys, they all had their confusions, they all had their faith. How many hopes, prayers, dreams have traveled through those people, those 2,000 lives to reach you today? Can you feel that energy? So in your heart, say to them, I honor you. I bless you. I release what is not mine to carry. I take from you the strength, the love, the courage, and I let my fear and anger go. I let your fear and your anger go. That's what it means to heal the ancestral field. When we bless our lineage, we send healing backward through time. And we change the story for everyone who came before, and more importantly, for everyone who comes after. Modern science tells us that our DNA is not just inherited, it's influenced by the lived experience of our ancestors. Their trauma, their diet, their stress, their beliefs, their joy, their purpose. These can turn genes on and off like switches within us. We used to think that heredity was the only code. But now we know heredity is also the story around the DNA, around the code. And that means that our courage can echo from our ancestors who survived hardship. Our anxieties might trace back to famine, war, migration, or grief generations ago. Our resilience and spiritual instincts are also inherited. Epigenetics says you don't just carry your DNA, you carry the memory. Unity has been saying the same thing for 100+ years. Charles Fillmore wrote, "We inherit tendencies, but we can transmute them through consciousness." If Charles were here today, I think he'd be doing cartwheels, because this idea matches exactly what we call our law of mind action. We are healing at the level of thought consciousness. We're rewriting the story so that the Christ consciousness within us can more fully express. You are literally rewriting that story for all of those people every time you choose love over fear. And you are literally rewriting the stories that are yet to come every time you choose love over fear. Your ancestors passed you strength, creativity, faith, lessons, and unfinished healing. And each and every one of us is the awake dreamer. The one who says, the story in my bloodline changes with me. We are the pattern breakers and the future makers in one body. No pressure, but how cool is that? So here's the sweet spot where science is backing all of this up, is leaning in to consciousness. Science is realizing that consciousness influences biology itself. Healing changes inheritance. Love alters the blueprint. Not only are you healing backwards and forwards in time, but you're healing yourself. When we heal what lives in our nervous systems, we don't just change our lives. We change the lives of those who came before us and those yet to come. We become the turning point in the family soul. That's step 3, all of that. So now step 4, we create a new pattern. We replace the old vibration with a new one. In Paul's letter to the Romans, he wrote, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And most folks don't really understand what he was saying. But I think what he was saying is that every time we think a new thought, we're rewiring the neural patterns of our brain. It's called neuroplasticity. And that tells us that the brain is not fixed. It is constantly rewiring itself. It rewires itself when we choose gratitude over resentment, kindness over fear. We're literally rewiring the code of consciousness, or our energetic DNA. So ask yourself, what story do I want to pass on? What story starts with me? Well, how about starting to tell the story of love, compassion, and possibility? Next week, we're going to study personal DNA, the beliefs and emotions that we have personally encoded through our own life experiences. And then we'll move into the national DNA, as I told you, the collective story of our nation and the stories that we have incorporated, and how we can be healers of division and hate. And then finally, we'll wrap it up with soul DNA, that divine blueprint of perfection that transcends all the others. But as we move through this journey, remember, we are not just healing our lives. We're participating in the healing of humanity. Because every prayer, every kindness, every act of a new thought contributes to collective evolution. So as I said, we're going to do things a little different today. We're going to close with the meditation. So I invite you to close your eyes, get comfortable, and take a breath. And bring to your consciousness, imagine 2,000 or more individuals standing behind you, your ancestors, those whose DNA you carry. And now imagine in front of you 2,000 or more individuals, the generations that will come forth from you. And so as we breathe into this awareness, this vast crowd of souls, we stand at a sacred threshold, honoring those who dreamed us into being and blessing those who will inherit our light. We release what is no longer needed, and we carry forth what is whole and holy. We choose love for all our relations. As we look back, as we look upon the faces of our ancestors, we're not aware of their mistakes, their frailties, their failures. We see the eyes that carried them through life. eyes that created who we are, eyes of hope for the future. And we extend this crowd of people, these souls, to our spiritual families, our extended families, our cultural human family, saying thank you. Thank you for the gifts that you passed down. Thank you for your discoveries, your love, your compassion. Thank you for your failures and for the teachings that came out of them. Thank you for living, for making it possible for me to be here today. I bless you. And now I think of patterns that need to be released. Patterns of addiction, of anger, of misunderstanding, patterns of fear, patterns of mistrust. Today, they stop with me. Today, I choose to let them go. I see them blowing away with the wind, gently ascending into the vast nothingness of space from whence they came. And in their absence, I anchor a new energy, a new energetic pattern of peace, of acceptance, of recognition, of compassion, of strength, of unity. I am the healing. Say that with me. I am the healing. I am the remembering. I am the new story. Peace goes back. Peace goes forward. Love goes back. Love goes forward. Peace is now. And in this place, this turning point, I feel release. I feel the warmth of a new sun. I stand at the turning point, the place where peace radiates back and forward. And I give thanks for all that has been and all that will be. And as you take another breath and breathe it out, feel that peace that you have created. Feel that wholeness in your body, in your DNA, in the past, and in the future. And as you bring your awareness back to this now moment, this now place, I invite you, when we sing the children in a few minutes, and we sing that song that we sing, to know that you are singing it to the past and to the children of the future. So it is. Namaste. Thank you, Roland.
Bill has one of our favorites.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say. I really